Impeccable timing, Kyle. You arrived here right as I woke up from a nap. Wow, right? DarbyCast, WildCard Friday. There's a lot to talk about today. First off, naps. Not bad. That's something the Spanish got totally correct. They do a couple things right over there. One of them being the siesta. Sure, they have terrible unemployment issues there. When does the siesta go too far, Kyle? When your country's at like 20% unemployment and your workforce participation is just in the can. But you know what? We probably have that issue in the States, too. Everybody's blowing the trumpet saying we've got low unemployment numbers, but workforce participation, low. However, naps. I take them when I'm given the gift of a nap. You think naps just happen? Kyle? Just because naps are happening, and I mean that in kind of like the 1990s way, where it's synonymous with cool, happeningnaps.com. Kyle, you should probably buy that website immediately, if not sooner. Turn that into a nap awareness site. Talk about a business that has been begging to be unleashed. Is that a business that is invented or revealed? Kyle, happening naps? I think we all know the answer to that. But, Kyle, I had a pretty good nap. And what makes for a good nap? Right, Kyle? Like a question worth asking. Questionworthasking.org. Kyle, I am on a roll right now. Can you feel the energy that is just emanating out of me? I am hitting a vibrational frequency that is what? Rare. That is correct. That's what happens when you take a nap and it does all the right things. I'm talking about a high priority nap when it's like, wow, I need to recharge the batteries and cool my jets at the same time. Those are not the same thing, Kyle. Recharging the batteries and cooling your jets. Those things can be done separately. And it's not just any old nap where you get two of those things at once. That's why the nap that I just had was incredibly special. If you're new to this podcast, you might be having a brain aneurysm at the moment and thinking to yourself, what exactly is going on? What am I getting into? And it's like kind of an awake nap, if I can call it such a thing, where you're recharging. There's great imagery involved. And a lot of what happens is going to be open for interpretation at the end. And nobody's going to be able to quite get it right. Except you, because it's your own, right? Has anybody ever tried to do dream interpretation with you, for you? Because I'm going to be honest, if they're doing it for you and not with you, that person is not your friend. Dream interpretation is a dish best served connected. Imagine going to some kind of soothsayer, maybe even a shaman, and they don't want any kind of on-the-fly feedback from you about your dream as you're sharing it with them. Because you don't tell somebody a dream, you share it with them. Whether that's a dream that you have during a lengthy and peaceful slumber, or one that you have during a quick nap, or one that's a business idea. Boom, you walked right into that one. This podcast is high level and business is a theme. You go back into the catalog, you're going to find a thing or two on what it means to up your game as it relates to entrepreneurship and friendship. No problems there. Right, Kyle? But let's get into the dream that I just had. I swear that timing of you showing up to the studio and me waking up from the nap, it was like bam, bam. Which happened first, chicken or the egg? Did I wake up from the dream first, or did you park your car? We may never know, and this will stump scholars for years. Although, Kyle, chicken and the egg, The egg came first. Let's just put that on the books. I could explain that in great detail, but I'd rather not. And I think we can all appreciate something like that. We sure can. However, let's get into the dream. I was on a bicycle. Whoa, right? Imagery. That hits all of us in the face. It was raining. I was on a bicycle, and I was attempting to go up a flight of stairs. On a bike, you asked? And I say, yeah. It's a dream. Son of a bitch, right? Rainy, overcast day. Serious. But then what happened? Ex-BMX / motocross legend Travis Pastrana came on a dirt bike and he rode up the stairs and he was like, come on, I'm already at the top. It's like, dude, don't try to rob me of my process, man. I was on a 10-speed. Not the kind of bike you necessarily want if you're going up a flight of stairs. Now let's pause. How many metaphors for life have been baked into this cake already? A nauseating amount is the correct answer. Now let's continue. So I get to the top of this flight of stairs, and it's a long flight of stairs, okay? I just put in a lot of work. No problems there. Hard work, discipline, sports. Travis Pastrana, Kyle, it's a big deal. But I get to the top of the stairs, and then what happens? It's a sunny day, and I'm somehow transported to the beach. Whew. Different, right? I'm riding along a beach path, and then an oversized, very plump, but halfway attractive Latina in a pink bathing suit with like a checkerboard, like white and pink checkerboard bikini. She has no business wearing a bikini in most settings. However, in this setting, good job. She was greased up, tanning oil, most likely banana boat, a little bit of SPF, but not too much. Just the way I like it. And Kyle, you're way more into Latinas than I am. But that's just what happened in the dream. And she's at the top, and she's also on a bicycle. Hers has a basket in front of the bicycle, but she wasn't carrying anything in it. What is that about? What's that imagery? Dream interpreters of the world, calling all shamans. And newsflash, they wouldn't touch a dream like this because it's too sweet. They'd be like, no. I'm not okay with this. My dreams are full of dragons and rage. And it's like, well, that's what in the industry we call a nightmare, Ruben. A lot of shamans named Ruben these days. Lesser known fact that nobody focuses in on, and rightfully so. However, I'm riding not like with this juicy Latina, but in her general vicinity, enough so that I can hear her say, permítame, oye, which is, would you allow me? And then the word listen makes very little sense to the uninitiated. Boom, gotcha. For anybody who really knows what's going on, that just hit you right in the heartstrings. Banjo of the heart. Heartbanjo.net, Kyle. So I'm riding on the bicycle, leisurely pace. Really nice after that rainy uphill staircase. Whodunit? And I look out at the ocean. Sunny day. Seagulls. None in the area. And don't we appreciate that? Fun fact, seagulls are in fact the illegal immigrants of our dreams. They have no right to be there. Felonious. Very illegal. There's a lot of law and order in my dreams. And I don't need anybody to interpret what the lack of seagulls means. Good borders in my dreams. This Latina Some of you are asking, third generation. She's a citizen. Her name's Lisa. Okay. She knows how to speak Spanish, but it's not her main speed. But she looks at me and she says, Oye, mira el mar. Listen, look at the sea. Great call out, by the way. And what's going on in the ocean? Speedboats, obviously. Tons of them. But a couple cruise ships as well. We're talking ocean liners. Not shipping tankers. Ocean liners. Carnival cruises? No thanks. These ones are way classier, the cruise liners. You can only get to the boat via a helicopter. And isn't that a breath of fresh air, right? A cruise with no riffraff? Whew, boy, does that sound like something we all could have used yesterday. Pero paciencia es muy importante, ¿verdad, Kyle? For anybody who doesn't speak Spanish, I just said patience is important, right, Kyle? Right, Kyle? So let's talk about the ocean in this dream of mine. Choppy. Big waves. Big, huge. But it's not stormy seas. We're just at a big wave kind of beach. And then all of a sudden what happens, Kyle? Waves are very placid. Everything is pretty relaxed. Almost as if it was a lake, but it is still definitely the ocean. Then who shows up? Quite naturally. Whales. Kyle. A lot of whales. Whew. Some people are scared of whales. Those people are cowards. Moving on. There were more species of whales there than any of us could have really hoped to identify. However, I come from a background of reading National Geographic magazine as a child. And therefore, I knew there were gray whales, pilot whales, humpbacks, and a couple bottlenose dolphins. They were all over the place. And it's not as though they were having an orgy. Okay, Kyle, let me clear that one up. I don't know what kind of dreams anybody else has, but mine tend to stay pretty appropriate when it comes to whales copulating. It does not go down, because that shifts us into nightmare territory. If you've ever had a dream about beasts making love, I know the impulse that comes after that. I think we can all anticipate the impulse that comes after that. The first thought you have when you wake up, it's, I need to turn myself in. I'm not okay. Where's the nearest insane asylum? Do you think they're at capacity? Speaking of insane asylums, they don't exist anymore, really. And boy, do we need those. Reagan, Ronald Reagan, great guy, American hero, patriot, he shut down the loony bins, which is a high-level scientific term for a mental health facility, in California in like the 1980s. What the hell was he doing there? Now, I don't think you could build enough facilities to accommodate the amount of crazy people in California. There's just no way. I just solved the homeless crisis and the housing crisis all in one, though, if somebody was feeling incredibly ambitious. And somebody said, let's build some skyscrapers with padded walls. This is the kind of stuff that happens during DarbyCasts and after my dreams, is really great ideas. We take all the crazies, starting with most of the politicians in California. We say, it's over. It's over, Scott. Here's a jacket. Go ahead, put it on. Oops, it's a straight jacket. You're crazy. Scott, get the fuck out of public and into this place. It's over. Where's that been? A lot of us are wondering right now. Who knows, right? But that's on the table. People have these defeatist mindsets where they're like, no, we can't fix a damn thing. We just got to deal with everything until we're dead. That is super wrong. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say that we have problems, social, economic, political, cultural, that are turnkey fixes. But explosive problems call for bomb squad level defusal out of heroes like Kyle and myself, but not in that order. Kyle, I'm in the number one spot. You know it. But let's get back to the dream. So there's whales, and they're doing a great job. We all know what that looks like. So I'm relaxing while in motion, moving meditation. Bicycles, Kyle, have you heard of them? And this Latina, Lisa, she's long gone. She's just somewhere else. And we don't miss her. If you're listening to this, you're like, I'm just glad we got to spend time with her in the first place vicariously through your chronicling of this dream of yours. And that's the attitude to have, right? Don't cry because it's over. Crack a smile because it happened. High level coaching is woven into the very fabric of all of our hearts via this episode. The topography of your heart, smooth, but also rugged. What does that look like? Healthy. That's right. The synthesis of smooth and rugged is health when it relates to a coronary landscape of yours and mine. But people are going nuts over these whales. People in the speedboats. Like, oh, let me just get some whale action. You can't really blame them, right? Everybody loves whales. We are in a prosperous region, blessed by majestic creatures, these whales. And a lot of you are thinking the question, I'm just going to say it, but a lot of us have been kind of feverishly debating this internally for years. What is a more majestic creature? A whale, an eagle, or a lion? Really tough to answer. Really tough. Depends on the day. Depends on the whale, to be honest with you. I look at lions in a pretty uniform sense, but I see whales more as individuals. Out there in the world, there is a king, and he is a whale, and he is beloved by all, but he doesn't take shit from people. This is not in the dream world. This is IRL, in real life. I need you to go AFK for a second, away from the keyboard, and LTBHTF, let the bodies hit the floor, right? Imagine this whale king. What would you say to him? Good job? That's a start, right? But there's a lot that we would want to say to a whale king. Now let's take a time out. Boy, are people going to be startled if this is their first episode and then they listen to last week's episode. They're going to be like, wow, I didn't know that there was a podcast that could be so solid. Like, what the hell? Why has this been hidden from me? And you have every right to ask that question. But all of us, because we're a community of doctors, DarbyCast doctors, we're happy you're here, unless you aren't bought in on whale kings, in which case you can get the hell out of here immediately. You can kick rocks. You can tie a cinder block to your legs and throw it out of the speedboat in which you find yourself, as a metaphor, and it's over. It's over. Scott. But let's continue. So these people, in my dream, they're trying to get friendly with these regal whales. Well, what the hell is that about? Like, you do not approach the whales. They approach you. More whales are showing up, but then again, so are more boats. And a couple Carnival cruise lines show up, and that upsets the whales in a spectacular way. And the whales look at me in this dream, but maybe you self-insert. You put yourself in my shoes and say, I'm living this now. So how about the whales look at you? How about that? What a plot twist. Princes, princesses, royalty of the depths. They're looking to you for answers. They're saying, hey, land king or land queen, what was once a beautiful beach is now overrun by people with criminal records. That's right. People who go on Carnival cruises, they tend to have rap sheets. That's why they don't go on other cruise liners. Carnival will accept felons. Carnival will take anybody who's willing to pay them. But there exists out in the world high ethics commodores and captains who will not allow rapscallions on their vessels. And I think we can all appreciate that. But these whales, they're looking at you, they're looking at me. Let's both be in this dream, right? How about we're there together? Wow, right? Were any of you ready for the plot twist that I just injected? Now you're in the dream with me in the flesh? Sure, it was only I who scaled the rainy stairs on a 10-speed. You just happened to be at the beach. But how do you think busty Latina Lisa got so expertly and evenly oiled up? That's right. That was done by you and your hands that moved gingerly but coordinatedly. You spent a little too much time on her butt cheeks. But she didn't complain. How about that? It's a drink of cold water on a hot day. I've never dated a Latina, Kyle. And I don't really intend on it anytime soon. But that's just part of my personal history that I wanted to disclose to you. That is so much more your speed than it is mine. Like, I've never dated an Asian chick either. Cat's out of the bag, Kyle. However, the wind's picking up, and these boats are getting rocked. Tumultuous seas. These small motorboats, which were having a pretty good time, they were being respectful, too, towards the whales, more so than the Carnival cruise ships. The Carnival cruise ships have killed a couple of the whales. They've driven right over them, and they've also exploded some motorboats. The captain's drunk. He thinks it's a party. Carnival. Come join us. What is their slogan, Kyle? Would you look that up? Because whatever it is, it's wrong. Whatever their slogan is, it's a lie. So whales are being butchered. People in small to medium-sized watercraft are dead. Carnival Cruise Lines tyrannically putzing around. Talk about a metaphor for the business arena of the United States. Carnival, obviously representing humongous corporations. Speedboats, representing high ethics entrepreneurs. Whales, representing whales. So something needs to be done about this in the dream. Father Poseidon, the Greek god of thunder, horses, and waves, is pissed. He doesn't like Carnival cruises. He doesn't like them one bit. And so the water starts churning. There are some whirlpools developing, and you're just getting your chill on the bike next to me. Now let's deepen the imagery. You and I are now on a tandem bicycle, and I'm letting you ride up front. Whoa. I say, you can steer, but it's a joke handlebar like they do for kids in the car, where it's like a steering wheel that can move, but it doesn't actually steer the car. I'm still in control, but you think you're in control a little bit, but you figure it out pretty quickly, and you're not angry. You're like, this makes sense. You're the man. I'm like, you said it. I'm not making that call, but I think your assessment's fair. That's what I say to you in this dreamscape. Sunny day, 73 degrees. But we know what has to be done. We got to get in the water. But before we do, what do we need? Explosives. That's right. So we go where? Obviously, to Lenny Kravitz's beachside palm shop, and jet ski rental joint. People would kill to have dreams like this. They really would. If you could have a dream with imagery like this, how much would you pay? I'm going to venture a guess and say it would be over $10. Okay? So we visit Lenny, and he knows what's going down. He says, I don't like what these Carnival cruise ships are doing, hurting whales, or really being here, period. Get out. And then he takes out a ukulele and starts singing, this land is your land, this land is my land. And it is. This land belongs to you and me and Lenny Kravitz and whales. And there's too many people mucking it up who don't appreciate the environment. People on the Carnival Cruise Line voted for Biden, and they're throwing trash in the ocean and killing the whales. Fuck that, right? So we let Lenny finish his song. Your muscles get more toned as the song goes on. That's just how this whole thing works. They don't get bigger, but boy, do you get more shredded. You lean out a little bit. Body fat decreases by about 3%. Your abs are really popping by the time this is done. Lisa from earlier comes back and tries to get with you. And if you're a chick, this still stands. And whether you're a guy or a girl, you look Lisa in the eye and you say, you had your chance. No bueno, no mas. Not good, not anymore. The offer's off the table, Lisa. And she gets it. She doesn't complain. She should have seen your potential. Knew that your abs were just so close to being in their summer form. She rides off on the bike. You think about hopping on the tandem bike without me and pursuing her. But then you lock eyes with Lenny Kravitz and he says, we don't chase. Whew, boy, did we all need to hear that out of Lenny. Oh, what a reminder. Let the game come to you. That's what Lenny says shortly thereafter, after everybody takes a couple deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. About 4 square breaths. Good cadence. Very centering. And then Lenny sells us explosives. And we know what needs to be done. So we link up with James Bond. What else do you do in a situation like that? I'm not a demolitions expert, nor are you. Even in our dreams. Our wildest dreams. But you know who knows how to handle something like that? That's right. Her Majesty's #1 guy, who happens to be 007. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da-da. Right, Kyle? I could really go for playing GoldenEye on N64. Rocket launchers and level Temple. I get to be Odd Job. You can be Jaws. That way you're a bigger target, and I'm going to headshot you every time with a rocket, Kyle. That's an explosion in your face. We're even going to play DK mode, where you have extra big head, Kyle. Good luck avoiding rockets to the face. But we swim out with James Bond, who has a special custom watercraft developed for him by his friend and colleague, Q, the gadget expert at MI6. Let's take a time out and throw a bone to Ian Fleming, who authored the James Bond series. What a visionary. He had military experience, and that's how he knew what was really going on. Support the troops, okay, Kyle? They are going through a lot right now. In this world of ours, can you imagine just trying to show up to basic training, get your ass in shape, and then all of a sudden you have some drill sergeant get in your face and be like, Pearl Harbor. You're like, what? And then immediately complete non sequitur, like trans. What is going on with the military, drill sergeant? He's like, did you just assume my rank? No, it's on your jacket. Did you just assume what kind of article of clothing this was? What are we doing here? But let's go back to you, me, James Bond. Lenny's not coming with. He's just kind of strumming at his beachside explosives emporium and jet ski rental place. But we go in this custom watercraft. We don't use any of Lenny's vessels because Lenny's running a business, right? We don't want to take away from that. He's got to rent these things out. He's got to make ends meet. Kyle, does Kravitz have a daughter? Maybe you hit her up. Hit her up in the DMs. Maybe this is the summer of Kyle and Lenny Kravitz's daughter. That's a dream that's happening right now when we're awake. I am more than happy to issue you a dream worth pursuing, Kyle, and that is DMing Lenny Kravitz's daughter, provided that he has a daughter. Okay? If he has a son, hit him up too. Ask him if he wants to play like Dungeons and Dragons. I've never done a D&D run, Kyle. But if I were going to, I'd want it to be with you and the offspring of Lenny Kravitz. It's a fantasy a lot of us have had, Kyle. Nothing erotic about it, but that doesn't mean it's not a fantasy. Okay? So we go underwater and we plant all these custom Lenny Kravitz C4 remote charges all over the Carnival cruise ships. Now there's 3 of them. So many whales are dead. But we're showing up just in the nick of time. And what's time? Time is money. So we're showing up right in the nick of money. Feels pretty good, right? You take a boat, I take a boat, James Bond takes a boat, and we just line those hulls with these miniaturized nuclear devices. Oh yeah, they're nukes. Lenny Kravitz has a skill set that not a lot of people are ready to talk about. But I'm not scared. Nuclear physicist Lenny Kravitz. Crafting micro nukes as an environmental play. Good job, Lenny. Let's tip our hats. If you're wearing a hat right now, you take that thing the hell off. Put it across your chest, say the Pledge of Allegiance, and then you do like a 15-second prayer. Say, Lord, thank you for Lenny Kravitz and everything about him. Right? We set all the charges, go back to the beach. Lisa's still there, thinking that she could like get a taste. And it's like, Lisa, man, I thought we went over this. You missed your window. Let's zero in on the dynamic happening between you and Lisa. Again, whether you're a guy or a girl, and she's lost her chance. This is a little bit of coaching for the ladies. If somebody's got potential, you have to recognize it and you take that opportunity to step in. Lisa blew it. It's okay. She may end up with somebody who's like a B- overall, but she missed out on you, the A+. The 10. You're a 10, okay? Take a deep breath and then chant that. I'm a 10. James Bond hands you the detonator and he says, do the honors. And so you do. You explode the Carnival cruise ships. Boy, do a lot of people die. But is it worth it? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Got to break a couple eggs to make a tasty omelet from time to time. The whales are saved. They're free to swim. And you, forever, will be known in the whale community as somebody worth singing songs about in sonar. That's what they say about you from there on out. Some people are wondering right now, how can I have dreams like this? You stick around, you listen to the DarbyCast, you figure out a thing or two. You recalibrate your spirit on the things that matter, and then you enjoy yourself. Is every episode like this? You bet your ass it's not. This is special. There is something very special that happened during this episode. In fact, it was just special thing after special thing after special thing. But why was that? Because you deserve it. Boom, you walked right into that. I'm pro whale, if you didn't know that so far. I think we should save the whales. And I think we should save ourselves as well. Was what happened environmental terrorism? The answer is no. It was directed by the Holy Spirit. It sure was. What's the major takeaway from this episode? You might be asking yourself right now, if you're a little slow. Take naps. Tactical naps. Because when a nap strikes, you might have an opportunity to be a hero, provided that you take the lessons learned and you apply them. There was a lot that went down in this dream, and I want that for you. Not just when you're dozing off, but when you're in your waking hours. There's a lot of messed up stuff in this world of ours. Nancy Pelosi, right? But that doesn't mean that you can't be the architect of a future worth having. Save the innocent and make some great friends along the way. James Bond, Lenny Kravitz. Can you imagine having those guys on speed dial in your favorites on your phone? No matter if you're in focus mode and your calls are on silent, you allow calls from Lenny. You allow calls from James. But every time you talk to James, you say his full name. You say, "Do you want to go get some ice cream, James Bond?" Lenny would not demand that you use his last name. Just as a heads up, I'm going to tell you that right now. But let's wrap this up. That's DarbyCast. That's WildCard Friday. Take what you gained from this and apply it. If you don't, you're betraying whales everywhere. You're betraying not only yourself, but whales. And you're betraying your imagination. Your creative gift given to you by the Lord himself. That would make him pissed. So harness creativity, relaxation, vision, and treat people who you think would go on a Carnival cruise. Treat them wrong. Because they've been treating the world around them so wrong. You know it. You've known it for years. But that's going to do it. That's DarbyCast. That's WildCard Friday.